You decided to click on the video. Great. So today I'm going to be talking about the reason why those of us who are into the 16 personality types need to grow up. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about why exactly I'm saying that and what even that means, and maybe some tips on how we can actually do that. Let's get started. So if you don't know me, my name is Denzel Mensah. I'm an ENFJ, 9-wing 1, social sexual in the Enneagram system. I'm also a certified life personal development and relationship coach, and I specialize in the Myers-Briggs and Enneagram, relationship coaching, all of that. And the reason why I decided to make a video on this is because as a life coach and also as an ENFJ and as somebody who's really deeply into Myers-Briggs personality types and Enneagram and whatever other models that are actually out there that we get into, I'm very much also into personal development. And sometimes I see, maybe just for lack of nuance, two different camps of these Myers-Briggs types of enthusiasts. There are those of us who get into the system and we're really actually trying to learn more about the system so that we can better understand ourselves. And then we don't stop at just the self-awareness, but then we're like, okay, how can I work to become better? How can I work to actually overcome some of these obstacles and become the best version of myself? And then there are those of us who just kind of like to see the memes, kind of like to watch a lot of no offense to him at all, but Frank James skits and just laugh and then go about our days. We're like, yeah, that's me. I'm totally a meddling whatever, I'm totally doing this, whatever it might be. And then you just kind of accept it, you just kind of laugh at yourself, and then you kind of just keep on going from there. I think that second camp, I want to be delicate in saying that obviously you don't have to listen to what I have to say. I mean, it's just a guy on YouTube with his own opinions on, whatever the matter might be. You don't even have to be watching this video. But since you are, I'm going to assume that you are wanting to hear my opinion on this. And to be straightforward, my opinion is that it doesn't stop at self-awareness. Personal development is where the work actually starts to come in. A lot of times we'll see people in this type of camp where they'll look at a whole bunch of different types of memes, they'll watch a whole bunch of skit videos, and they'll see the negative traits of their personality type in there. They'll identify with it, and either they'll maybe feel a little bit of shame or they'll laugh at it, but then they're not going to do anything to try to change that, try to improve themselves on that. And I think that they're leaving money on the table whenever they do that. I feel like there's a huge benefit to being able to have a system that points out to you how we all generally work. And then when you identify these things in yourself, then you're able to be like, oh, this is something now that I can start to work on and maybe better myself on. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're changing who you are as a person, but you are remaining that person and you're just developing more into a better version of that person. So let me become a little bit more specific with this. Let's say, for example, you are an ENTP, right? And you go online, you just found out that you're an ENTP. It's like, oh my gosh, wow, I love to debate. I love to come up with a lot of wacky ideas and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Cool. Sometimes I'll see people who will, adopt that persona. In fact, I remember somebody back in college who had started learning about Myers-Briggs and they had known about Myers-Briggs for about maybe 2 years, and they were an ENTP. And this person literally admit to me oh, well, yeah, I'm an ENTP. I don't have any feelings. What? First of all, that's false. Secondly, even if the memes tell you that you're a dick and that you're a jerk and you're rude and all of these things, that doesn't mean that you have to remain that way. Now, of course, as an ENTP, you're still going to have that auxiliary TI, and TI is not necessarily a mean function, but it's more of a cold function. It's a function that is here to just analyze and get things out the way. There's a specific word that I'm looking for. It's an auditor. That's the word that I'm looking for. It's an auditor. It pretty much shows up and it's like looking at things. It's like, this is kind of wrong. This is kind of wrong. Okay, I know that's right. Boom, boom. Emotionless in that sense. It's supposed to approach the thing without emotion, without, oh, is this morally right? Is this ethically right or whatever? It's just looking at, is this true? Is it not true? How can we figure out whether it's true or not? What are the inconsistencies, the incongruencies, stuff like that. And then it just gives you what it is. And it's like, look, I don't even mind if you work on this or not. I'm just here to bring you the honest truth of whatever the situation is. And then it's your choice to decide whether you want to or not. There's a reason, though, why TI is paired with FE. The function that's usually known for being nice and delivering information with gentleness and rapport building and actually being attentive to emotional and empathetic and interpersonal needs. When you combine these two, then you're going to have somebody who's still an auditor and who's still giving the truth, delivering the truth, but then they're delivering it in a way that's palatable. They're delivering it in a way that's actually empathetic. So even if they're necessarily assessing things in an emotionless way, they're going to afterwards, after they've received all the information, all the data, they're going to deliver it in a way that's actually, if they've integrated that FE side of them, or for FE users, if they've integrated that TI side of them, they're going to deliver it in a way that's accurate, integrated, all of that, but still also gentle, kind. They often say nobody cares what you know until they know that you care. That's the TI-FE axis right there. If you care so much but you don't know anything, well then there's some TI that you have to bring in, because you can't just be like, yes, yes, and just super nice everywhere. But then you also can't be this dick that's just going around saying mean things and shrugging and be like,
well, I don't have any feelings. I don't know why everybody's so sensitive.
No, there's some integration that you have to do with that. If you're an ENTP who's like, yeah, well, I'm emotionless, or I don't have, and you see all of these memes talking about how much of a dick ENTPs are, much of a jerk that ENTPs are. Yes, there is some truth to that, as in you're going to be associated sometimes with the person who is auditing things because of that TI auxiliary. If you're doing things right, you're going to be somebody who approaches things in a very analytical sense that's a little bit cold and just focused on what is the data here. How can I make sure that there's no incongruencies? How can I clear out as much bias as I can? Biases such as my system. Is the system of the way that I'm thinking, is that running? Have I rooted out all of the personal feelings that I have toward this the best that I can as a human being so that I can have the right answer? Am I cleaning the tool that I'm using to be able to make these decisions of what is correct and what is not? And then after you've done all of that, if you're starting to teach people, if you're starting to deliver things, you can integrate that FE, especially as an ENTP. You have tertiary FE to help you with delivering these truths, these thoughts, these opinions. So you don't have to remain a complete dick or a complete jerk. I know a lot of ENTPs that are actually known to be very kind and charming. So you don't have to remain that way, even if you are that way to begin with. And this can go with so many other personality types. As we learn more about personality type, we should always keep in mind that although we might have a best fit type, we are not necessarily that type. What I mean by that is that the type doesn't define who you are as a person. If I woke up tomorrow and I found out that I was an INFP personality type, or if I was an ESTP or whatever it might be, at the end of the day, I'd go, wow, that's really interesting. But guess what? I'm still Denzel. I still always am going to be the way that pretty much how I have been. Am I going to now maybe assess different things differently? So should I actually be working more on my TI in this way? And boom, boom. Which, honestly speaking, because I'm an ENFJ, even though it's a hypothetical situation, realistically, even if I were to start doing that, it just wouldn't really suit things the way that my lifestyle is and all of that. So it just wouldn't fit as well. But hypothetically, yeah, I would think of it in that way, and it's okay. But it doesn't mean that now I'm good. I would all of a sudden have to, okay, now I have to start being all cool, and I have to start going snowboarding and doing all these other radical things like that ESTP is doing. I'm gonna get into a fight club and start talking about all of my strange philosophies on life in certain ways and be as problematic as no. You still continue to be yourself, and you just continue to develop to become the best version of yourself. There's a lot of people who literally seem to live by these memes. Now, I'm going to talk about an Instagram page, and I want y'all to know my disclaimer. I actually love this page. I really do. I appreciate this page because I really don't think there's much ENFJ content out there. And so I'm really glad that this person on Instagram, she also has a YouTube channel as well. I think her Instagram page is e.n.f.j. Many of you probably already follow her, and if you don't, you probably should. And she makes great ENFJ memes, and she's a sweet woman from what I can see. However, sometimes I'll see the memes, and I don't think that it's her intention at all. So I'm not projecting the intention onto her. But I can sometimes like look at the comments because I'm also like very curious and stuff like that. And I can see how a lot of people are just identifying with certain things. Like, yup, I'm just super sensitive and I can't take criticism because I'm an ENFJ. And yup, I'm just a meddler because boom, boom, boom. Or yup, and they're just kind of like accepting these things about themselves. Whereas I think a better approach is allowing those types of memes to expose like, oh, dang. Yeah, dang, that is me. Do I really do that? That's kind of crazy. Wow, I'm so glad that now I'm aware of this. And you know what? I need to start being more mindful of that. I want to start working on this side of myself. If it says that I'm too sensitive in this way, dang, I did not know. I want to start working on not being as sensitive. How can I do that? Maybe I need to integrate more of my TI to be able to understand like, hey, it's just an auditor. It's not trying to hurt my feelings. It's trying to like help me. Man, dang, yeah, that's true. I do have a hard time being able to sit with myself just alone with my thoughts because negative thoughts start to like come to me and I get uncomfortable, whatever like that. Does that mean now that I've seen this meme and I see like 500 other ENFJs commenting that they have the same problem, that I should just remain in this? No. It's comforting to know that other people now share that problem with you. That is great. And I think that's what the meme is also supposed to help with, is to show that you are not alone. But what are you going to do with that? Start working on yourselves. Shoot, start working together. Y'all are ENFJ. Work together, which is ironic with this example, to actually spend more time alone with those thoughts and knowing that, okay, when these negative thoughts start popping up, it's just my TI being an auditor, and I am always going to be 10 times more hard on myself than I am on other people. Shoot, I even made a video about this myself. So it's something that, you know, I even sometimes struggle with and everything. It's like, dang, like I'm getting kind of critical with myself because of boom, boom, boom. But still, even though it's a point of uncertainty because it's your inferior function and all of that, it doesn't mean that you can't necessarily work on it. You can't integrate it. You know what I'm saying? And this goes with so many other things. It goes with so many other types. Something that I love to do is when I'm looking at these memes, when I watch certain videos on ENFJs, shoot, when I hear other people talk about ENFJs, when I hear other people talk about their annoyances with FE, with NI, with SE, with TI, whatever it might be, I'm taking note and I'm like, oh, interesting. And then I use that TI auditor to look at me. I'm like, hey, do I do that? Am I like this? And then the TI might be like, yeah, honestly, you are. And you might do it in a little bit of a different way. You actually do it this way, not like that. But yeah, you still kind of are like that. And I'm not going to be, oh no, I'm so horrible. No, it's like, dang, okay, time for me to grow up. Time for me, like, I'm so glad that you brought this to my attention. I don't like that about myself. I want to start working to become better. I didn't know that I was like this. But okay, is it going to be easy? Not really. But that's what personal development is. And if you need help, I am a personal development coach. Hit up denzelmensah.com. If you go over to that site, you will be able to see all of the services that I offer there, where I can help you to become the best version of yourself. Shoot, we can go through the memes together. And it's like, okay, you relate to this, you resonate with this, awesome. What are we going to do so that you won't have to resonate with that anymore? Now, when I see a lot of ENFJ memes, then it's not to say that I'm better than people, but I'm proud of myself because it's like, I remember when I used to identify with the meme like that. Now I don't anymore. But then it's crazy if you are somebody who still identifies with the same ENFJ memes from like 10 years ago. It's kind of wild, you know what I'm saying? And so it's best to like always be working on amelioration, working on, okay, I've noticed this, somebody's pointed this out to me. How can I make myself better from here on out and moving forward in that sense? And again, if you need help with that, I got you. Depending, no matter what personality type that you are, denzelmensah.com, hit me up. If none of those times work for you, be sure to email me. That just type in profiling session or coaching session, whatever it might be, and you can tell me like your time zone, all of that, and we will work together so that we can actually get you to where you need to be. But I really think it's time for us to grow up. We shouldn't just be like laughing at these memes and stuff like this. The skits are funny, bro. The skits are funny. The memes are hilarious and they're creative and they're great. And a lot of times they are true. That's the point. They're supposed to be true. But again, if you really want to have a growth mindset, I think that the best bang for your buck when you're using these types of systems is to actually grow up from them. It's to actually look at them and be like, dang, as an ENFP, I'm known as being flighty. I'm known as being like this, boom, boom. Okay, I get it. It's because my SI is inferior and that's what's all about stability and boom, boom. And I really like novelty and boom. You understand it. Great, great, great. Now, how can you work on being able to actually like help that? Well, I have FI. If I really get in tune with my values and I can value consistency and boom, 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 and then I can actually also know for sure, looking into my FI and my SI, what do I really care about? Who do I really care about? I can be consistent with those people and I can become more intentional and I could even bring my tertiary TE in certain ways. And you want more from that? That's coaching stuff. But yeah, I genuinely would love to help some of y'all to better yourself. And that's not again to say that I am perfect, that I have arrived, but I've definitely seen a lot of improvement in myself as I continue to work on myself, as I help other people. I've seen a lot of my clients. Some of y'all are probably already watching this. Y'all can comment below if you've worked with me on being able to also work on themselves too. And I've helped them to be able to get to places where they are and they're still continuing to grow. So I really feel like we should all just be growing together, you know? And we can still laugh at these memes, but it's even more funny sometimes when you look at a meme and it's like, man, I remember when I used to be that type of ENFJ. I'm so glad that I'm not now. Wow, that's an indication that I've actually grown as a person. I'm so excited to be able to continue to grow. Am I still an ENFJ? Absolutely. And that's another thing too. It's like some people, because why? But they're going to tell you, oh, well, you're not an ENFJ because you don't overthink and you're not this and you're... What? No, I still am, because it's not about the behavior. It's about the functions. Healthy, developed, and unhealthy. I made a video on that a few years ago. There's different forms. You know, there's that unhealthy, then there's like average, then there's healthy, and then there's developed. That's how I see it. And when you're at a developed stage, it's sometimes, not even sometimes, it's often very hard for people to be able to identify what type you are, because you're not showing up in the stereotypical mean ways that are being shown. So, are you sure that you're actually this? You seem a little bit like an introvert or whatever. Like, and it's because they're coming from their, and it's not their fault, but like their ignorant point of view of not having run into people of this type, of this maturity as frequently. But that doesn't mean that you need to start doubting your personality type at that point. The more mature that you become, the more that you become more honed in that. And the more that you'll even be able to like exemplify and represent some healthy versions or even developed versions of your type. So this whole video has just really been me trying to encourage people to look at themselves as they look at these memes and not just laugh. Keep on laughing, yes, but then try to like actually like keep that in mind, like whatever you're laughing at, whatever you're identifying with, and work on yourself to become an even better person, to not be able to identify with the negative traits of that meme anymore. it's only helping yourself, and it's helping the people around you as well. I think that you will very much appreciate and you'll very much enjoy doing that. So what do y'all think? Be sure to leave me comments if you agree, if you disagree, and just be respectful about it. Share this video. I would really appreciate that. Share this video with some of your friends and all of that. It really helps my channel to be able to grow a little bit more. If you would like coaching, one last time, denzelmensah.com. If you need to hit me up for different times that are offered on my site, because some of them are going to be switching starting in May, then be sure to write me an email, denzelmensah94@gmail.com. But I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. Thanks for watching, and do not forget, you matter. Done.